Hello and welcome to another vidIQ live stream. I am Dan, joined as always by Mr. Rob.
You know what, Dan? The intro music always puts me in a really good mood. And I'm in a really good mood now. So thank you for playing the intro. And I hope everybody here is in a good mood. Hi, everyone.
Yes, I hope they are too. And I agree with you. That intro music always kind of gets me jazzed to either audit some channels or in this case, give some even further value by answering your questions and showing off some cool vidIQ features. So that's what we're doing today. And before we get started, we should probably welcome some of you here because there's a whole bunch of you.
Let's do that.
I see Fishing with Coda. I see DBL Ultra. Quiz Ninja's here. Relax and Meditation is here. Angie Hart is here. Who else do we have? It's moving. Bori Piano, welcome back. We have, of course, Dan H here helping us moderate, doing the community management. Appreciate you. And Eximus, maybe. How's it going?
Oh, is it Christmas already? Awesome.
What?
Xmas. That's what you just said, right?
Oh, Eximus. I don't know. It sounds more...
It's Eximus. Okay, awesome. Skip Hoots, the Artist Heaven, moderating as always. Thank you. Sunburn Details, DBL Ultra, Arilla, NGS Cloaked, Runak Agarwal, Sandy Patrol, Zonecraft, VEJI, It's Blocks, KC Games, Brian Mills Music, I'm on a roll, It's Blocks, Love to Wonder, Crafts Bro. Oh, so many people. Hello to all of you.
Yes. Hello and welcome. So every Wednesday, we sit down with you and we do a couple of things. First,
unless you want to stand, some people might be standing and watching this stand. We don't want to discriminate against standing people watching this webinar.
It's true. I actually have a standing desk, and so
do I actually, and I never stand up on it. Where's Dan going?
It's off. I can use this.
It's disappearing. The problem is if I use my standing desk, the camera would all of a sudden disappear, and then I would go blank because all of the wires aren't long enough to stretch to standing position. I haven't quite got that in there. So funnily enough, this is a bit of a weird off-tangent story. My desk has a timer, my standing desk, and it's set to 45 minutes. So I think it's say like stand for 45 minutes and sit down. But I just generally use it as a task timer. Like I'll set my standing, I'm actually going to set it now. I'm going to set my standing desk to 45 minutes and then it'll go off. And that's when I usually, stand up, not actually stand up with a standing desk, but I'll stand up or I'll go for a restroom break or I'll make myself a new drink or something. So yeah, that's how I use my $200 standing desk just as a timer. And I've got one on my watch, but I prefer this one down here.
I have the same problem with wires. I've gotten some of my wires upgraded to be a bit longer to accommodate, but not all of them. So I still can only go so high with it, which is frustrating. Disappearing Dan. So what we're going to be doing today is taking you through the vidIQ scorecard. If you have vidIQ installed, which we'll explain in a second, you probably see the scorecard alongside videos you're watching, and we're going to be taking you through all the cool tricks it does. And if you want to have vidIQ installed, if you don't already, there's a couple things you should know. First off, if you've never installed vidIQ before, you can take advantage of a 30-day free trial of not just vidIQ, but our Boost package. So that's our full suite of tools. You get it for 30 days. Try before you buy. Otherwise, there is a free version. And in both cases, you can download these from the link in the description, and they work on either Chrome or Firefox browsers. So they will install into your browser and change the face of YouTube as you know it, and become very valuable, giving you a whole ton of tools to make creating a lot easier and a lot more straightforward. So
also available on mobile.
Yes.
Android.
If you're a mobile creator, or if you're not a mobile creator, but especially if you're a mobile creator, vidIQ for iOS and Android. Definitely give that a download. We have a stream on that. If you were to go through our past live streams on our Wednesday streams, you'd be able to find it pretty easily. And yeah, you can see all the different ways that works as well, because usually the first 15 to 30 minutes is us showing you different tools. So if you were to just watch the first 15 or 30 minutes of that live stream, you get a nice introduction to mobile. So one other self-promo thing I want to do before we get started today is actually show you. Give me 1 second here. I'm testing a new shortcut on my end. It's not working.
Was this the thing that was working prior to the live stream and now it isn't?
I got it. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. We have a podcast called TubeTalk, and every week, lately it's been Rob and I every week. We sit down with amazing creators and we discuss various YouTube topics. So you can find this on our blog or wherever you get podcasts, and you can see the latest episodes right here. We've talked to such folks as Jake Fellman, who is a champion at YouTube Shorts. We talked to Emily Baker, who is a legal expert, and we asked as many legal questions as we can think of about YouTube. If you ever had any questions about, doing YouTube and the legal pitfalls involved, I highly recommend that episode. Of course, Desiree, who hosts the Women of YouTube podcasts. We talked to her. We've talked to all kinds of creators already. So check it out.
Oh, look, we've even spoken to Dan at some point. That
we even spoke to Dan.
we had no one else available to talk to.
100% Zelda.
I'm only joking, Dan.
We talked to 100% Zelda about how to get 40,000 YouTube subscribers.
Fun side segue again here. He mentioned to me on Twitter last night, and this is a freebie for all of you. I didn't realize this. If you have over 1,000 subscribers and you have access to the community tab, you can post multiple pictures on your community tab. And I didn't even realize that. So I'm having a little bit of fun with that. Maybe I'll share that screen when we get into the Q&A section. But yeah, I've been posting 5 images of stuff now. So that was exciting news I discovered last night, thanks to 100% Zelda.
Yeah, the community tab is really becoming its own social media feed on YouTube itself, which has been awesome.
Dangerously so, yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's great to keep as much in-house on YouTube as you can. And anyway, we could talk more about that in the Q&A, like you said. So again, what we're talking about today is the vidIQ scorecard. And I've already pulled up a video to give you an example of what it looks like and how you can see it for yourselves. So here we go. Let's throw this on the screen.
Look at did you pause it there on purpose?
No, I wouldn't. I would never fish for likes like you. I wouldn't.
Yeah. I definitely would.
I wouldn't demand likes like some people. He's gonna go get
it. Carry on. I'm do continue.
In any case, the vidIQ scorecard can be found on the right-hand side of videos. Again, once you install vidIQ, links down below. And if you hit like on this live stream, you'll get like a shiny gloss over it. You won't really, but you can imagine there's like a shiny gloss over it because you hit like on the live stream. There is all kinds of information in here, and we wanted to bring you. There's 2 different places you can see the scorecard. There is on the front end of a video while you're watching it. You can see this as the viewer of a channel, as long as you have vidIQ installed, or you can actually see it behind the scenes while you're uploading your video. So let me I'm still getting used to this new shortcut. So if we were to go into this video's edit section and scroll down, on the right side, we see the SEO scorecard, which helps us understand our tag volume, different keywords matching in the title and in your description and your tags and things like that. and the performance of some of your chosen keywords. If there were any controversial keywords, those would show up in here. That's the SEO. That's the SEO scorecard. And then there's a checklist that will try and just keep you honest about all the different things you should be doing for all your videos, having at least one card, one end screen. If you've put your captions in manually, there's a difference between letting YouTube do it and then doing it yourself. We use an outside service for ours, which is really helpful. We don't enable monetization, so that's always a nice big red X for us. But adding it to a playlist, making the video public, obviously. Maybe you want to share it on Facebook and get a like on it. Excuse me. And then if you've replied to a recent comment, which apparently we've not yet done on this video. So those are the different ways the scorecard shows up in this end. Before I move back to the other one, did you have anything to add?
No, not on this section, Dan. But if you go back to the YouTube watch page, there's two things I want to say about this video scorecard. vidIQ was basically built upon this scorecard as one of the original tools that came out, half a decade ago. And I think it's the one tool that stood the test of time most, in that on pretty much all of the information on this scorecard is still valuable today. And if it's not there now, it's so much part of the furniture when I'm on YouTube that like watch pages feel almost naked without it. I know it sounds a little weird, but it's because I've just become so comfortable with all of this extra information. I mean, yes, it does push all of these suggested videos down the column a little bit, which is, I guess, a curious UI thing. But, as a creator, I'm mostly in creator/research mode. So I want to know more about whatever video I'm watching. And yeah, we are looking here at a vidIQ video, but you will get all of this information on every single video on YouTube, irrespective of whether you created it, you're subscribed to the channel. This is all data that we're grabbing from just under the bonnet of the video and displaying for you.
Yes. By the way, if you don't always want it pushing down your suggested videos, you can always toggle it with this little arrow right here. And now see all of your suggested videos. And each section has its own toggle as well. So, and if I'm not mistaken, Rob, it'll remember what you did. So if you don't want to see the thumbnail all the time, you can always do that. The thumbnail feature in here is actually pretty new. I think that was a suggestion you made.
It is, yeah. I'm glad it made it through. So the reason I asked for this to be included is sometimes when you're watching a video and you're like 3 or 4 minutes into it, and you decide, I actually really like this video, I'm enjoying it. And then from a creator perspective, you might be wondering, oh, what did that thumbnail look like? Because the thumbnail encouraged me to click on a video, and now I'm enjoying the video. Can I just remind myself of what that thumbnail looked like? And so, we just have it nicely placed there. You can directly reference it back to the video content. And Dan, as you demonstrated there, if you click on the thumbnail, you'll get a full-size image of it, so you can see all of the detail if you were wanting to not copy it, but kind of use elements from it and put your own spin and design on thumbnails for your channel.
Yes. So that is, again, pretty new. And if you didn't want it there, you can always toggle all these different sections up. If you look at the overview here, we see some of the similar things like the score we saw a little while ago. Views per hour on the video. This is very, very good information when you're investigating a video you're watching. Maybe you're thinking about, making your own version of that video. And now you can see just, the views it's currently getting every hour.
Combine that with the published date, and if it was published 2 years ago and it's still getting a significant number of views per hour, it's evergreen content. It's performing well.
The duration of the videos there as well as the view. So this is a nice bird's eye view. This is a lot of research done right here. If you're really heavy into a topic and you're trying to find the videos that are really working in this space. We have the social section here. This is probably the one I personally look at the least because I don't find myself sharing a lot of videos out on Facebook. I have seen us use this during channel audits. It's always kind of interesting if a video has a lot of views but not a lot of engagement. Where could that be from? And then you'll see, oh, it has a lot of Reddit upvotes. Oh, it has a lot of likes on Facebook. So this content's being shared outside of YouTube, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, this is going to vary from channel to channel and video to video. If you mouse over the engagements icon, Dan, in the top left there, it does give you a bit more of an indication of the engagement rate, and it's saying that for us on this particular video, it's good. It's in between 10 and 15%. And the engagement is basically the comments and the likes and dislikes ratioed against the views. And so we've sort of create a formula here. So if you're getting good calls to action in terms of people liking the video, disliking the video, or you're asking a question and people are responding to it, the higher the engagement, obviously that's going to be sending positive signals back to YouTube. So I'm glad to see it on this particular video. It's is it my eyes are a little broken. What's it saying? Is it excellent on this one?
Incredible. Yeah, incredible.
Oh, awesome. Incredible engagement.
It has incredible engagement. Below that, we see the SEO again, similar to the scorecard we saw on the back end. This would be the front-facing information. We will look at another video on just out in the wild on YouTube to kind of show you what that looks like, because I think it's kind of confusing to see your own channel in here, and then I want to give everyone full context. So we can see the word count in the description, different things like this. This is all for me kind of like that argument of like, do tags matter? You know, should you be replicating them in your description? Things like that. Things we've kind of become accustomed to doing, but things today that are heavily debated.
Yeah, you are right. This is like the fine detail and nuanced stuff. Like if you're starting to see patterns, like there's a lot of the description word count is fairly lengthy on successful videos, or people speak faster in videos. But I would take this in isolation in a single video. You do have to take it not with a grain of salt, but you have to say, okay, I've got this information here, but let's try and detect patterns in all of these little bits of data. The next one, however, I think is of particular interest and importance.
This is my favorite. So on this video, we can see how it's doing on average. And here it's similar to the graph you see when you post a new video on YouTube on your analytics. Now we have it right here in front of us. So we have the purple section, which is our average, and then this video in blue. So this video is performing above average, and that's for us really great information. But as a viewer or a content creator doing research on a topic, this is also a fantastic indicator. Where's the channel normally at? What the heck is this video doing?
So this is another good example of when, even though I tell people that the YouTube algorithm is not something that you should focus on, when I include it in titles, that seems to work pretty well as a not clickbait introduction to the content, but click worthy in that I'm going to get you into this video and I'm going to start to educate you on why you shouldn't be thinking about YouTube algorithms and you should be thinking about the audience first. But I've done this multiple times now, and every time I do that, that blue line ends up above the purple. It's not really a line, it's kind of more, what would you call that, a purple wave.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do YouTube algorithm videos all of the time, but I know that our audience reacts to that fairly well.
You can also toggle this down and select other options, which is kind of interesting. So any video. Oh, oh, cool. So you can compare it to other videos. Got it. I don't use this drop down too much. Channel average is what is on, competitor average. So if you set up competitors, which we have talked about in the previous live stream, you can see how you're performing in this topic with your competitors, alongside your competitors. So I'm guessing, well, it might not be in this topic. This is probably the average video of a competitor.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
I think generally you want to leave it on this channel average so you can compare this video's performance versus the average of this channel that you're watching. And again, any indication that a video is performing better than average for the channel, it works for them. If you're in the same topic, then you should be investigating why and potentially making alternative content for your audience on the same topic.
Right. Let's see. I did not zoom this one in. I apologize. I could have been showing this at a lot bigger the whole time. Apologies. The last couple here, we have the stats for the channel itself. So we have 58.1 million total views. This is just kind of interesting facts and tidbits about the channel. If you were getting deep into the research and you're going, wow, their video's performing above average, I got to remind myself, what the heck, what channel size am I even looking at here? They have a lot of subscribers, but how are their views? Their average daily views are good. Okay, channel countries, United States, sweet. So you can learn a lot from the channel itself here, if you really thinking this is going to be a topic that I'm definitely going to jump on, I just want to make sure it's not like a flash in the pan for this one channel. And then, of course, a lot of this information is repeated from other parts of our tool, but we have the video tags, and then we have suggested video tags based on these ones. Now, this is kind of interesting because you could be grabbing these for your video. Oops.
Well, just to be clear, the video tags, just scroll up to the video tags down if you can. So these are the video tags for this video.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is one of your own videos, then it'll show you the suggested tags, and those will be automatically added directly to the video. So you don't have to do any work. You just click the plus button and it adds those tags to the video there. So you don't have to go into the video editing screen.
That even I got confused. That's why I want to look at another video.
Yeah.
That one even threw me.
The other thing I want to say here as well is that we are kind of looking at legacy tools here in that, yeah, there's still that big argument about whether tags are important or not. But then again, if you just scroll down to the video tags, if you see a video that's performing well, and this one's about the YouTube algorithm, you want to make a similar video, just click that paperclip in the right-hand corner. You've got all of those tags. You paste them into your tags, and then you delete and add just to refine so that any really specific tags relevant to you want to include in your video. And that's a 1 or 2 minute job. I don't want people to be spending 10, 20 minutes optimizing their tags at this point. It's just get some relevant tags in there, which are freely available on many videos, because a lot of people are still adding tags, and we're just making it easy for you to grab them from where you want to use them.
Yes. So I think I want to move on to another video.
Before you do, if you scroll to the top again, so above overview, there are some extra buttons.
Yes.
And so if you click on some of these, like this is the historical data for the video itself, and it's showing the usual curve of good velocity. It's flattening off now. Maybe it might start to jump up if YouTube algorithm search terms start to rank this video more highly. It's really interesting when you have a video that's 2 or 3 years old and you see some occasionally spikes in these graphs, especially for a lot of YouTube Shorts videos. There are many channels who made vertical format videos 5+ years ago and did absolutely nothing. And then in the last 6 months, they've all peaked because now YouTube's found a place to serve these videos on the YouTube shelf. So it's always interesting just to see how a video is performing over time. And especially for evergreen content, when you see all of those graphs sort of high, but also flat and stable, because they just keep bringing in views and views. I mean, Dan, let's quickly do this for your how to start a YouTube gaming channel. I know you want to go into another video, but I think this will demonstrate it really well.
Yeah, okay.
So you can do a search, I think, in the top there, top bar.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
And so we want the 2020 one if we can find. Sorry, not.
Oh, you want the older one?
Yeah, if possible, because that's got a bit more. Is it there? There we go. So if you click that, I love the fact that it shows me in the.
I know it's
the preview.
It's pretty. That's pretty cheeky.
So can you see how there is a curve there? But that's over the span of like 14 months that it's gone from 0 to like 1 point whatever million, and the views per hour are really stable as well. I mean, it's obviously tailed off a little bit as we got to the end of 2020, which is why you made a follow-up video.
Yeah,
it's some really powerful numbers there, Dan. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of both of these videos, and yeah, these are both the top performers. Let's go over here. So this one's still straight up to the moon, as they say.
Yeah,
and this is why you double down on content. When you have a video like the one we just looked at, that's just still to this day, even the 2020 one's getting a lot of eyeballs on it. You want to see if you could double down the following year.
Yeah, this was published on the 11th of January. And then if you just go back to the regular, now go back to video if you can, Dan.
Oh, this one?
This one, yeah. And then click.
Oh, gotcha.
There. Published, what, 3.5 months ago? Still getting 120 views per hour, which is around about 2,500 views per day. That's 5,000 views every 48 hours. That's 17,500 views per week. It's around about 60,000 views per month, and so on and so on.
Nicely done. So yeah, we're
look at the graph down there as well. Compare views in the last 28 days. Look at how that was just completely flattened the channel average, because it's just continuing to perform well. And this is all in the first 28 days, but it tracks the numbers here. But in the first month, it crushed what we do usually on average, which is why Dan makes these videos every year.
Yes, this has become a yearly tradition. Now, if, by the way, just to plug these a little bit, the first video and this video have a lot of different information in them. There's a little bit of crossover there, some of the same principles, but I didn't try to just make a carbon copy of it. Doubling down doesn't mean just say the same exact things you said before. And I learned a lot in a year. YouTube changed a lot in a year, so there's a lot of new stuff to say. So just wanted to impart that lesson on everyone. So let's say I wanted to make a Minecraft PvP video. I want to start doing some research on that. I don't know how this is going to go because I just thought of this on the spot. But we can see from 5 months ago, there's a video here, The Beginner's Guide to Minecraft PvP. Maybe you know a lot about Minecraft PvP and you want to, give your take, but then also update a little bit. Maybe some things have changed. Who knows? Minecraft updates all the time. So if we click into this video, we can now start doing research as a YouTube channel who is researching a topic, and you do see the scorecard here on the right side. We can see the views per hour are 138, which is pretty cool. Considering the publish date was November 21st. 676,000 views total, a duration of about 12 minutes. We have the thumbnail here, which looks really nice. And we can see different things. There isn't any interaction on Reddit or Facebook. Really good like ratio. The engagement rate is just good, so maybe a lot of people didn't comment.
It's solid. I think the more views you get, especially on educational content, the less engagement you get, because your loyal subscribers and fans are always going to engage with your content. But as YouTube shares this out to more people, they're just watching the video. They don't really know who Intel Edits is, but they've got the information they need, but they might not comment or like on it. So that tends to happen with more popular channels, especially when it's not personality or variety channels, where they have a closer connection with their audience.
Right. So we can also look at the channel's performance on average in the first 28 days. This video for this channel is performing. It was performing on average, and then it just kind of took off. This became an evergreen topic for them. And it's, that's a really good indicator. Maybe a lot of people are looking for some information on Minecraft PvP, and this person's still currently to this day, filling a pretty big gap in that knowledge on YouTube. We even have the checklist for optimization. So vidIQ would have told them their title is too long. Personally, I don't know if that did any
it is debatable, Liz.
Yeah,
it's set to 60. If it's over 60 characters, then we will say it's too long, and that's purely from a technical perspective. In that, on browse pages, etc., this title might get cut off. Now,
it didn't here, but it could on mobile.
Yeah, I think if you go to click on the channel, Dan. Mind you, we'll have to find it. Yeah, let's see if we can do this. Click on the channel and click on videos, and then sort by most popular. Maybe I'll tell you what, this channel is really kicking some butt with 150.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
this is like the thumbnails and quality of like a 1 million subscriber channel.
There you go. So it's first video on the second row, a beginner's guide to Minecraft PvP how-to. So it has cut off there, but the first part of the title still works.
Yeah. How to what? I don't know. I'm already sold. It's the beginner's guide to PvP. That's what I was looking for. How to PvP. So there we go. Go back into here.
Something I did spot interestingly in the optimization checklist here was that they don't have any cards or end screens. And when you think about how to direct viewers to more of your content, there's perhaps a missed opportunity here. I don't know how easy it would be to do this retrospectively for this video, because maybe there's no space for end screens at the end, or you don't necessarily directly reference another video, so it's hard to put an interactive card. But if you have evergreen content and a lot of people are watching it every single day, you probably be wanting to add end screens or cards to keep them within your channel and topic space. to search for to visit more content.
Right.
I mean, often I go back to our, the real-time stats and see our most popular videos. And for the top 10 every month, I'll make sure that there is a interactive cards, there are end screens, and there are even pinned comments directing people to more of our content, because we know a lot of people are cycling through that video within vidIQ's content.
All good spots there. And then we can just see the differences between looking at our video and looking at someone else's video. We can see their channel, the video tags, the channel tags, and the topics. This channel is still using tags, by the way. Over 100,000 subscribers. They found value in having a strong title, a description that's filled out with different timestamps, and a proper description of what the video is about. And so even top tier channels still using video tags, which is always great to see. And like Rob said earlier, hey, I'm making a Minecraft PvP video, so I'm going to copy these and kind of edit them to fit my video.
Yeah, in this example, if you just scroll down, you would copy them and you might paste them into your video, but you have to consider, is your video also about aim? Because it looks as if this video specifically within the realm of PvP talking about aim, whereas your video might be talking about melee weapons or hand-to-hand combat. So you do have to remember that you can't just copy and paste tags. You got to make sure that they're relevant to your content.
Right. So that is the vidIQ scorecard. And again, you can get the scorecard by downloading vidIQ from the link in the description. And once again, if you've never done this before, you can take advantage of a 30-day free trial. The link for that is in the description as well. You can get all the Boost tools, our whole suite of tools, to try for 30 days and decide whether or not that's something you want to purchase for the long term. So
from what I can remember from the video scorecard, I think around about 70 to 80% of the tools on the scorecard are available for all the users. I think the comparison graphs that we were looking at, you get a couple of free trials of that before it goes behind Pro and Boost. And something that we didn't mention, but it is there, something called the controversial keywords tool. What that will do is just flag potentially harmful words to your content, which may, and I want to stress the word may, doesn't definitely mean this is going to happen, but it may mean that your video is restricted in some way. This could be like pornographic words or like really bad slurs, insults, etc., etc. You want to obviously avoid them. But if you start to use a combination of stuff like gun, kill, grenades, explosions, and I've probably just said all of these words, and it might restrict our live stream thinking about it. But
great,
we're not saying that these will definitely restrict the video, but you just want to be aware of the language that you're using in your metadata, the titles, tags, and descriptions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the pro tool as well. But as Dan said, if you want to use our 30-day free trial, you can get access to all of it for free for a month.
Yes. So we're going to move into the Q&A section now. So if you have any questions about the scorecard, about getting your videos to rank, or YouTube in general, please feel free to begin your question with #question. A lot of people end up talking amongst themselves. So we ask that you just use #question so we know that you're specifically directing it to us. And just before we get into Q&A, there's one last bit of self-promo as you guys start thinking of your questions that I want to point out. If I can,
I'm going to load this question up because it's a good one, but carry on then. I just didn't want to lose this question.
No problem. After this live stream today, we're going to be opening up our Clubhouse room. So if you have Clubhouse, if you're on iOS and you have Clubhouse, you can go ahead and come visit the vidIQ club. It's called Talking YouTube by vidIQ. And, you can download Clubhouse in the App Store and come hang out. This is a new thing we're doing. Every week we're going to have different rooms / events going on. And one just happens to be right after this live stream ends. So there you go.
Are you doing it, Dan, today?
I will be in there. So,
I was going to say, blimey, you're doing double duty. You're doing a live the webinar and then you're on Clubhouse.
I think I'll definitely be there and I'll interject as needed. But the folks who run that are going to be they have their own schedule going on, and I'll just be there for, I guess, support.
We did one on Monday when I was on stage, and we started talking about keyword research, but it very quickly went onto YouTube Shorts, as many discussions often do. But somebody from YouTube came into the chat, and we pretty much hijacked him and put him on stage and just peppered him with questions, and it was quite interesting. The answers on what was his name, Gabriel, and I think he did a very good job of like not getting himself in trouble with some of the tough questions that I was asking about. Why do subscribers not really work for YouTube Shorts when you make long form content and so on? So yeah, it's always very interesting conversations if you can get an invite and if you have an iOS device. I'm still disappointed in however much of a walled garden it is right now, but hopefully it'll be.
It is. I'm just sorry. I'm just double checking to make sure that we're actually scheduled. There was a bit of a scheduling conflict, and now that we're streaming, I can't double check on it. So it should be there. If it's not, then it's probably going to happen tonight, and that'll be on the schedule. Either way, join the club. It'll be fun. So Chess Geek asking a question here. From your knowledge, what percentage of people do you think use the dark appearance on YouTube? Should I optimize thumbnails for dark as well as light?
I should be able to get an answer for this. But so yeah, let me show you what I'm trying to do here.
I use dark exclusively, by the way.
Yeah, Dan loves dark mode, and I think most people on here. I mean, just let's quickly canvas the chat. Do you prefer dark mode or light mode?
Use a sun emoji or a moon emoji.
Ooh, nice. There should be the option here in the channel contents, but when it shows you all of your community posts, to search for text. Because I know I've done a poll on dark versus light mode before, and it was massively in favor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll. Oh, hang on. Is it there? No, it's not in that one. It's going to be really boring, me just doing copy and find to try and find where I did light and dark mode. Yeah, I can't find it. I think it was like a 3-to-1 ratio that people use dark mode over light mode. And so it is a good question. Like, should you tailor your thumbnails to be optimized for dark over lights? My answer to that is always going to be, we'll test it out. If most people are using dark mode on YouTube, then maybe you want to experiment with brighter blues and potentially whites. But then you have a danger of your thumbnails blending into the background if you use a white or a black thumbnail. But I know a lot of people have had success with those colored thumbnails, as a predominantly the background color.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for the question. Let's see here. All right. Fact God Thor. What are the best ways to get audience retention above 25%? So I would say, now we've talked about this quite a bit. We've struggled with our own retention a little bit here at vidIQ. Yep. But we do have it higher than 25% on average. I would say if you're sitting at or below 25%, you definitely want to make that the focus of your next improvement you make on your channel. So ways you can do that would be to have as short of intro as possible. If not, just don't use an intro at all. The biggest thing is, we actually talked about this last week too, that hockey stick shape you get on your retention graph, where immediately a number of people drop off the video before it even really gets started. Those are viewers that are never, ever coming back. They gave YouTube the strongest signal of all. They clicked on the video and they left immediately. So something wasn't clicking with them and they bailed. And YouTube will likely no longer recommend that video to them. It's almost worse than, hitting the dislike button on something. YouTube is saying, oh, you really don't like this, and you thought you would. So don't worry about that. We'll take care of it for you. Are you going to? Yes, I was. Well, I'm not really, but I was going to throw to you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I see you pulled something up, and I wanted to riff on it.
Do continue.
I wanted to riff on the graph.
All right. Okay. All right. So I'll bring this in. So full disclosure, if you've watched a video I made recently about, how I'm not perfect, I'm not an expert. Our audience retention is generally in the region of about 40%. So this was a video that I made very recently, and I'm delighted to see that it's almost at 50%, which is great for us. Some people are probably thinking, what, vidIQ only gets 50%, 40%? Yeah, that is true. I think that is symptomatic of education channels. I think they all have a challenge of increasing their audience retention. And so what I'm looking at here is the first 30 seconds. And I think for the first time in a while, I've managed to get 70% audience retention at the 30-second mark. Usually it's in the mid to low 60s. So just by keeping more people engaged at the very beginning of this video, we keep them engaged for longer throughout the entire video. So if there's one thing you want to focus on first and put all of your resources and energy into, it's making that intro better, because then you got a template going forward for everything else. I mean, the rest, once you're into about a minute or so, the graph will start to flatline a little bit because people are engaged with the content. Obviously, you want to keep this as flat as possible. We haven't quite done that here. So, but I'm focusing on this first 30 seconds pretty much on all the videos that I'm making right now. And I'm just going to play this video and see, you know, this is maybe why it got a little more retention in the first 30 seconds.
We can't hear it, by the way.
Oh, does it not come through?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I think there's a setting you can do to make
there
it come
is. Right, okay. Is it worth doing this again?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Share audio and then share that. Right. Let's do this again. Right. So here's the intro again. Wait, stop what you're about to do. I know instinctively you want to tap that thumbs up button. Well, don't do it just yet. So I think in that first 8 seconds, I've engaged directly with the audience and I've kind of told them not to do something. And hopefully in the viewer's mind, that's suggesting that, oh, I'm going to find out why he told me not to do this later on. And I need to carry on watching the video. So there was a little bit of psychology at play there. And it worked in this video. So I've got to try and figure out how to do that again in future videos.
It's what's interesting about that video is before you can even, I was going to use it, and I did use it as the example of today's presentation. And you even got me to stop and go, why did you throw your hand up at the camera in the first millisecond of the video, you know? So there's a lot of intrigue and interest that goes into that, and a lot of psychology at play, I would say. It's really important, going back to the Fat God Thor, the one asking the question here, it's really important to make sure your video gets into the action as fast as it possibly can. This is even more especially true with tutorial style videos where you're teaching somebody something. You don't want to spend the whole time talking about, well, today we're going to do this, and the way we're going to do it is this. You just want to start right away. You know, you can introduce yourself halfway through the video if you want. You can introduce yourself at the end of the video. I just recorded one for vidIQ yesterday, and I saved my introduction as to who I am for the very end of the video, because by now our regular viewers know, and anyone who's new can, you know, learn about that or not. It's fine. So try to keep people engaged, and try not to also, while you're halfway through your video, make it sound like you're going to end the video. You know, any vocal clues you give to where it sounds like you might be wrapping up, people are going to start dropping off, even if that was a misunderstanding, you know? So it's always good to go into the retention graph, the stretched out version of it, and kind of look for those dips too, like, and learn from those. Oh, it kind of did sound like, if someone didn't know any better, I was going to end the video there, and I didn't mean to sound like that. And, you know, when it comes to that, it's just practice.
I'm just looking at his video in the channel in the background. His channel's doing very well, actually. Getting very healthy views for the size of his channel. I very quickly looked at one of his intros, and it was along the lines of, do you want to know how to do this? Then I'll show you how to do this. And it felt like a good intro. So I would be surprised if his audience retention is that low. I'm wondering if it's low on his live streams. You know, audience retention is going to be generally lower on live streams because it's quite a commitment. We're not expecting people to stick around for 2 hours. If you do, thank you very much, but we know your time is precious. So, you know, 25% probably isn't too bad on a 1 hour, 1.5 hour live stream, especially if it's like a chill stream when you have no strict direction or motive. You just, you know, chilling out, live streaming with your audience. So I'm sorry, Fat God, if we just told you a lot about your about video on demand, where you're maybe wondering about live streams.
Yeah,
but hopefully others got use from everything we've just talked about there.
Every live stream I've ever done on YouTube looks like this when the graph actually comes in, and maybe you know the answer to this. Is this after the fact when it becomes a VOD, or is this taking into account the numbers of the actual stream while it was live?
Question, Dan. I don't know the answer to it.
I'm 99% sure that all of this right here is from after the fact. Maybe not the revenue, because I think we got super chats, but all of this stuff for live streams I've been doing starts at 0 when the live stream is over, and then ticks up from there. So I would have to assume that this is the same way. But either way, it's a live stream. It's a it's a 2-hour live stream, and we wouldn't expect a long commitment from people anyway. It looked like there was some skipping around going on here, but don't worry about this. Live streams are not meant to have high retention anyway, and I don't think YouTube uses this as a signal to say, oh, this person does bad live streams. I don't think that's the case. Just wanted to bring that up. All right. Next question.
Next question. Let's get searching. Let's get searching.
I have a lot of bad videos.
And found.
I have a lot of bad videos on my channel for the past year. Should I remove them and continue making the high effort videos I've made this year? Would you like to take the lead on this one?
Look at Mr. Beast's channel. Look at sort videos by Oldest, and you will find that he has lots and lots and lots of bad videos still on his channel. They are just a legacy of his YouTube journey. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with those old videos unless they are attracting the completely wrong audience that you're trying to appeal to now. For example, let's say your first videos were about playing Grand Theft Auto, but now you're a serious finance channel. Then yeah, maybe you do want to unlist those videos because they're just not relevant to your current audience. So it'd be awful for somebody to get into one of your Grand Theft Auto videos, and then the next video you make is like how to beat debt, and they're thinking, oh, is this in Grand Theft Auto? Is it going to show me how to rob a bank? And no, it's not. It's actually how to solve student debt. That's a really bad example, but that was the best I could think of in 10 seconds.
Hopefully that answers your question. Let's look for another one. That's the one I was looking at.
Meow Muna. If your channel is growing based on a temporary niche, trending topic that will end soon, what can you do after the trend has finished? Commentary channel on popular show. So I think Jake Fellman, who we've talked about many times before, recognized this was going to be a problem for his channel when he was making Among Us 3D animation. I think it's fair to say, Dan, that the Among Us trend probably has a year's shelf life at most, but there is I guess, similar-ish game, and that is Minecraft, and he's already started to transition his audience from Among Us to Minecraft. So I think what you need to start doing, Meow Muna, is find a similar program that because you're going to be part of your audience, and you'll understand their watching preferences and habits. You'll probably be able to say, and again, I'm just going to use a random example here, in that people who enjoy, let's see, WandaVision are probably going to enjoy Falcon and a Winter Soldier, because they're obviously part of the same universe, but it's superhero action content. Oh, can you hear that?
That your 45-minute timer?
That's my stand. That's my timer. I say, yeah, it works. I'll be doing something different now if I wasn't on this live stream.
Well,
and what I do is, sorry, Dan. What I do is I try to intertwine these two TV shows. So whatever you're talking about now, you're kind of talking about that, but also this new show or these new celebrities that you want to talk about, maybe from a slightly different niche in the same video. So there's some crossover, and it helps guide your audience from this one trend to the next trend that you're going to cover next.
That was exactly the advice I was going to give. So if you cover Breaking Bad and you're trying to figure out the next show that you're into and maybe your audience is into, you could do Breaking Bad versus this show,
Better
and that
Call
could be
Saul.
the first video that transitions you into that next topic. And then also it's a good indicator of how many people might be interested in this other new show that you're comparing the old one against. So that is one way you can topic jump.
Just looking at our channel, it's Mnet Kingdom. I have no idea what that is.
No, I don't either.
Never heard of it. But what I could do is do Mnet Kingdom and do versus. Oh, it's not brought. Hang on, it's because it's doing this all in the background, folks. Just bear with me. I don't know what it's similar to.
Yeah, if we knew more about it. But if it's like a reality show, for example, you would start with other reality shows, and obviously ones that you enjoy. It's easy with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier is really easy because if you like any of those, you probably like all of the Marvel stuff. So it's a very easy comparison. But in this case, we've now played ourselves a little bit because we don't understand the topic.
Okay, well, hang on. Share screen. It's something to do with K-pop. I know that much. I know that much just by doing. So I did a search for shows like Mnet Kingdom, and look, you rank at the top, which is brilliant. But I'm also seeing these thumbnails and whatnot. So it feels as if there's plenty of K-pop genre topics that you can start to naturally flow into as this show comes to an end.
Yeah. So good luck. Let's jump ahead here.
Good example of a channel, by the way, jumping on a trending show. Look, this channel's been around focusing on this program, Mnet Kingdom, for a month. And look at the view counts versus subscriber count. They've really built up an audience very quickly there. So props to you.
Absolutely. One thing that Jake Fellman said in that podcast, by the way, which would be worth a listen, is that he understands that he's going to kind of take a hit. The Among Us folks still really love Among Us, but he sees the trend kind of waning, and he's like, I'm going to go all in on Minecraft. I know there's going to be a bit of attrition there. I'm going to lose some folks, but that's okay. You also get prepared for that dip. It's just part of depending on the topic on YouTube, that's just part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to take this really quick. Do you have any new info on Shorts monetization? We do not.
That is correct. We do not. It's coming at some point. That's the only information we have.
That's what we hope. Let's see here. I didn't see this interview that's being referenced, and maybe you did. An interview with Mr. Beast said everyone with good, consistent videos will succeed and grow big. No luck involved. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I would agree in the sense that good, consistent videos will succeed and grow big. Mm-hmm. Mr. Beast is an exceptionally, fantastically, amazingly brilliant, good, consistent creator. I think he's missed out a few adjectives there. He's been figuring this out for a long time as well. He's made hundreds, possibly thousands of videos at this point over the course of 5 to 10 years. And what I also know is that he scrutinizes his data to the nth degree. And there are many videos apparently that he's made but never published because for whatever reason, like just one particular scene isn't quite right and it can't be fixed. And so he'll just ditch the entire project. So I think Mr. Beast is right. And he's an extreme level of this. He's in terms of, if some of us can turn now volume up to 11, he dials it up to 7,924 with just his commitment to his video craft. And I agree with the fact that, viral content can help a channel. It's always going to help you in the short term with views and subscribers. But then what do you do with that audience that you've gained? Some creators don't necessarily know what to do with that audience. So if you're growing consistently on a gradual basis, then I think you're kind of growing in tandem with your audience. And that means you can better serve them as opposed to one video that gets 1 million views and then there's an expectation from your audience to do something similar next time, and you're just not able to replicate that because you're not quite there yet in terms of skill set or video production, etc., etc.
I'm having a similar organic growth journey on my own channel right now.
Yeah. I was going to reference that, Dan, but I prefer you talk about your secret channel from now on.
Well, it's just cool because that's exactly what's happening. Is I would like to think what I'm doing is making good content, but I certainly feel like it's consistent content, and I don't want to say every video does better than the last, but there is a steady, gradual trend in the right direction. So, I don't think there was any luck involved with that. Certainly a couple of like shorts took off, and I guess we, because shorts is kind of crazy, we can consider that luck. But I've gone into it with a lot of intent, and I know what I'm doing, and so things are just kind of clicking and firing on all cylinders. So yeah, I don't think luck is necessarily a factor, although it certainly does happen to people.
What about this one, Dan, from Stag Fitness? How do you get to the next monthly view bracket? It was around 10,000 views a month, now 40,000 views a month. Does YouTube keep you around a fixed number until you grow to the next stage? It's like, is YouTube a video game where you have to get a certain number of experience points to level up and get more rewards? And the answer is simply no. It may feel like you are going up in stages, and there are sometimes moments in your YouTube journey where things will just plateau and you're not growing, and you feel as if YouTube against you. And that's not generally the case. It's just the ebbs and flows of YouTube. YouTube is so big that I'm wondering how to put this correctly, Dan. How should I put this?
I don't know if you want me to fill the space or if you...
Yeah. I've started down a verbal minefield now and I've got stuck.
Well, I see it this way. I see it as exponential growth. So you started out maybe...
Well, that's what people think. They think they're going to get exponential growth the moment they start to grow, but that doesn't always happen. Yes, you may start to experience some growth, but then it plateaus for a little bit. But as long as you keep turning up and you publish videos, then that growth will start to return as you get better as a video creator. That's where I was going, Dan, and you kind of prompted me there. But I want you to carry on now because I kind of interrupted you.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's not it's not guaranteed to you, but this is why we tell people to stay on topic, right? Stag Fitness, you're likely covering fitness and you're not ever deviating from that. You're not saying there's this new show and the guy in it's really, I could tell this fitness routine's awesome, so we're going to talk about it today. No, you're probably teaching people how to, go on a fitness journey, or you're taking them on a fitness journey. So that is only bound to keep growing as long as you're uploading consistently and as long as you're learning and continuing to adapt and test things. So yes, you'll reach the 10,000 view bracket. And then after some time, you'll realize, wow, I'm never below 20,000 views. This is awesome. And that's because more people are engaging with the content, enjoying it. And YouTube is like, okay, cool. In a way, I guess it is a video game in that sense, where it's like, if you keep doing something, you can keep seeing rewards from it. But there's also a chance that there's a trending topic in the fitness world and you decide to test something totally new and you make a video on it. Maybe there's a new machine or something and you cover it and it gets 1 million views. And then those people start to see that, like, wow, you make these videos all the time. They subscribe, they come back for more. And now you've jumped from the 40,000 view bracket to the 100,000 view bracket. So it's not necessarily like not static. It's not necessarily a journey that's just on this line,
Take a look at this as a weird journey for vidIQ. I started making videos around about, it was in 2016. And you can see there was kind of like a gradual growth there. We were like 1,000, 2,000, etc., slowly growing, then 5,000. But then we had all of these weird viral videos. And these were just not sustainable. Like, we're not all of a sudden going to jump from 5,000 views a day to 200, 300,000 views a day. But our channel was still growing behind the scenes. So after these first viral videos, we were up to 18,000 views a day. And then after all of these viral videos, we were up to 30,000 views a day. And then I made a conscious decision to stop making PewDiePie versus T-Series and Mr. Beast videos. And now this is where we've got more consistency, where our channel has grown. And, this time last year we were getting 100,000 views a day. But that's because everybody was quarantined and they had nothing better to do and they wanted to start YouTube channels. So we had, I guess, a seasonal / pandemic advantage. That sounds utterly insane, but that was the situation we're in. And things have just tailed off a little bit, but we're still very happy that we're able to serve around about 70,000 viewers a day with our content. So these are definitely the peaks and troughs of the vidIQ journey so far.
Yeah. And it speaks a lot to what I was just saying too, is that sometimes something works really well and then introduces a lot of new people to your channel. And that could be a way to get to that next bracket. But there's definitely no, formula that we can just give you to copy and paste and put on your channel. But good luck. I love the logo, by the way. And I see you're on the channel there in the background. It looks really well put together from this tiny little thumbnail I'm looking at.
Patience is what I'm going to stress. And again, I'm just looking at your channel, and you are a fitness channel, but you've had some success with fitness watches and apps. And that's perhaps where you're getting quite a bit of traffic. And then where the videos that you're publishing now, which are all workout routines, they're not quite hitting the same audience. So that's where you may be getting a little frustrated with your growth, in that you've kind of always made these fitness app and fitness watch videos that are good for bringing in an audience for fitness apps and watches, but not necessarily for your workout routines. So, we were talking a little bit earlier, weren't we, about older videos perhaps misdirecting the current audience.
Just looking at more questions here for myself. Let's see. Okay. What are the benefits of live streaming and how can you do it good?
I don't know how to answer the second part of it.
Yeah, that just comes with time and practice, and maybe making sure you have decent internet and decent computer to handle what you're trying to do. As for the benefits of live streaming, I would say it's a great way to connect with your audience beyond just putting out content and having kind of that one-way conversation. It's you on camera, and then if you're good about answering your comments, that's your opportunity to chat with your audience. Live streams are great because everything kind of happens in the moment. So that would be the biggest benefit, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
So you have to remember that a live stream is committing a viewer to watch you at a certain time. Mm-hmm. So it's different to video on demand. And just generally the way live stream works, you'll be getting a much smaller audience because it's a moment in time when people are watching. And because you're kind of forcing your audience to turn up at a certain time, as Dan mentioned, you want to make the live stream essentially about the community and audience who are there at that moment. And this is why all of our live streams are pretty much centered around you, the viewer, that being the channel audits that we do on a Tuesday, and now this live Q&A session. We're not really trying to make anything that's going to be evergreen right now. This is something for you here and now. And I've started to wonder about this, Dan, that maybe we should start to unlist our live streams once they're done. I'm still thinking about that though. I've been thinking about this particular webinar in that maybe we should, once it's ended, we should trim it so that it just includes the product tour, if you know what I mean, because that's not necessarily for the audience who's here and now. This is the moment for our current audience. Yeah. But then after the webinar's finished and somebody sees a video on how to rank in YouTube search plus Q&A and it's 2 hours long, is anyone going to click on it? So maybe we should trim it down to the 30 minutes when we're showing the product and then tweak the title. But that's just stuff that runs through my head, as we're having this conversation.
I think that's a decision a lot of people need to make on their own, unlisting the streams. I would say that for the gaming channels now that I've been experimenting with, unlisting a live stream is the last thing I would ever do, especially on the new channel, because that's the whole reason I'm about to hit 4,000 hours of watch time. It's the people coming back and watching the live stream when it's concluded, and that ends up equating to several hundred hours, all said and done, per live stream. So people come back that much. And I make it very clear, it's not like there's any deception going on there. I make it very clear that this is a past live stream. People still watch. So for what Rob's describing, I think it'd be more valuable, do more of our audience a favor to trim the first part of this live stream and make it a separate video. Cut out the Q&A because it's not relevant to the people watching it later. But certain niches like gaming, I would say there's no need to deprive folks who weren't able to make it of the content. But yeah, that's my take on that. In any case, let's see. There's a lot more questions.
I'm just remembering to enable slow mode here, Dan.
Oh, cool.
Multiple questions. So I'm enabling slow mode now, folks. It means that you can ask a question every 60 seconds. That's just to help us with the chat, because if we get too many questions, then it goes too quickly and we can't keep track of the questions when we're trying to select them.
Yes. Let's see here. Some questions similar to ones we've answered before, so I'm just kind of like skipping over those for now.
What about this one?
Oh, interesting. Are you more likely to succeed as someone in your 20s or someone in your 50s? Does age matter on YouTube?
Watch a channel called Steve Dotto. He is a tech YouTuber who is north of 60, but he uses that to his advantage because he believes that the boomer generation is being forgotten about in the tech world right now, and so he's embracing the fact that technology can help people of all ages, and he's appealing to that demographic, and he's building a significant channel out of that. So I think age does matter, and yet it doesn't matter in that it doesn't matter. It shouldn't prevent you from making a YouTube channel, but it does matter in terms of who your audience is, because you need to resonate with that particular audience with your content. So it might mean, for example, for an older demographic, and this is a huge generalization, YouTube shorts and quick snappy videos and whatnot might not appeal as much to the baby boomer generation, but that means that you could potentially make longer, more informed, detailed videos, because that audience has a longer attention span, is willing to dedicate 20 to 30 minutes to a video. So this is again where you need to do your research. Hello, Dan Scott.
My example would be Shirley Curry. She calls herself the grandma, the gaming grandma. She plays Skyrim almost exclusively on her channel. She's gained a lot of notoriety from this, and much older person, again, using it to her advantage, and highly entertaining content. But yeah, I think if you bring the age into the conversation, it's cool, because of those two examples, you can kind of cater yourself to that audience, that is of similar age category. But the way Rob put it is how I would say it too. It does and does not matter. It really just depends.
I'm seeing somebody saying here, hey, I make shots, and maybe, as I say, it was a huge generalization. I still think there's probably an audience for YouTube shorts for all ages, but I was just trying to think very quickly on my feet about how different demographics may react to different types of content.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a fair point too. We have an entire generation who's grown up watching videos in vertical format on their phones, and YouTube Shorts comes in, and they're competing in that space now. YouTube is now, they've created a platform where, depending on how you want to make content, depending on your age, like there's something for everybody, Let's see here. Just a lot of little questions here.
Oh, I just saw one, which might be a good one. Is this the right one? Yeah. As a small channel, if you compare your quality to your competition and know you're offering something better overall, should you take advantage of trends not 100% in line with your content?
Sounds like a big topic jump. If you find a trend that you're interested in, you want to cover it. Is that kind of the way you're looking at it?
I was looking at the if you compare your quality to your competition, and that's as far as I got before I brought the question up and read it a little bit more. And what I wanted to answer first of all is that it's a dangerous game to start comparing yourself to your competition, because you don't know their stories and the journey that they're going through and their specific audience. And then I'm not sure if you're saying that you're comparing yourself to the competition and you know you're offering something better overall. Is the data proving that in terms of, are you getting more views in your space compared to your competition?
I'm not fully understanding the question, but that part does speak to me. The idea that you would compare yourself to your competition and say, wow, my videos are way better than this person's videos. You know, the quality's better, the audio's better, the editing's better. Why aren't I doing well? And that's the part that Rob is kind of saying when, in terms of that's a dangerous game to play, because it may not be about how good your editing is, how good your audio is. Maybe it comes down to your thumbnails. Maybe it comes down to your titles. Maybe there's a reason people aren't finding your videos, so no one even knows how good of a quality they are. So it kind of, don't even worry about the quality of their content. What's your competition doing that you're not, that you could be doing better?
And also, don't think of tackling a trend not with it 100% in line with your content because of your competition. Consider whether you think your audience would like you to maybe tackle something that's not 100% in your trend. Going back to Meow More, I think was the channel earlier, who was talking about they know they're in a trend that's going to die soon. They need to start looking what to do next. That's where you can start to think about where you can branch out with connected content if you think your audience is going to go on that journey with you.
There's one really important piece of advice that I could give to anybody on YouTube, and that is to make content for an audience. Provide value any way you can. Make content for an audience. It's vague. It's hard to explain exactly what that means depending on the niche, but it's by far the best advice I can give to anybody.
We need El Jefe to come onto this live stream because he's just answered this question beautifully in 20 words. Comparison is the thief of joy. If used incorrectly, use your competitors as a case study of what works in your niche.
Yep.
Thank you, El Jefe.
Yes. Thank you. That is a great way to put it.
I think it's excellent, Kareem. I think any creator of any shape or size should definitely have it in their YouTube book library. It's probably quite a small library of good YouTube books, but it's worth reading. I would say that it takes a while to get into the valuable tips, tricks, and strategies, because he does go through like the history of YouTube a little bit, and how to build how to have like the right mindset and psychology of creating content outside of YouTube strictly. So I think it's about 150 pages before you get into, right, this is the keyword research, right, this is the audience retention, these are the thumbnails. But he does set a good foundation. So I would recommend it. Hashtag not sponsored. I just think it's a really valuable book for all creators to check out.
I got two questions here that are like back to back that I think would prompt a pretty interesting discussion. So the first one's from Lopez Gaming. How can you stand out and get noticed as a new YouTuber in a competitive audience, a specific game? So a very popular game. The question right after it was, my content is within a small niche. Is there an easier way to grow within a small niche? And is it harder to grow within a small niche? So it's kind of funny how those two showed up side by side, because when like this person's problem is I want to play a really, really popular game, so a large niche, and I want to get noticed, while this person is saying I wanted to get noticed within a small niche.
I remember two channels, a channel that we audited yesterday that I want to try and bring up. So Dan, if you want to start formulating an answer.
Yeah.
What is it called?
So
in the background.
A lot of the gaming videos, how to start a gaming channel videos I've done in videos around that topic, all focus on this specific question of how do you get noticed. And I'm always talking about making how-to videos, making videos that offer a lot of value, and not forgetting the fact that even games like Minecraft, as old as they are, get new players all the time. So don't take for granted the stuff that comes naturally to you, the stuff that just feels really obvious. All of those can make great like starter videos, like how to do X. And that would be how I think you can start to stand out in a very competitive space, and then go from there.
Okay, so I think, Dan, this was the channel that we've spoken about a bit before, haven't we?
Spoiler alert, this is my new video.
Yeah. This is a channel that is focused on, I think, Call of Duty Warzone. Is that right? That's a mobile version of Call of Duty. So a very, very competitive gaming niche, especially in the last 12 months. And they've started to dig out their own niche. And I guess, Dan, you can maybe explain a little bit more what they've done here, how they found their own corner within this competitive space.
Yeah, so in the video that I'll be releasing pretty soon here about this very channel, I talk about how they've done exactly what I was just outlining to Lopez here. It's important to stand out. If you want to stand out in the space, you need to make content for an audience. So this person has identified different things that the Warzone audience is interested in, and they've covered them in different either top 30 videos or how-to videos. And you'll notice that none of these videos are of Ash just playing Warzone, although they could certainly do that. It's just those are not going to rank as well. And Ash would rather spend their time making video after video of really high value. And some of those, as you can see, have performed better than others. But this is a person with just over 1,000 subscribers. They got monetized within a few months because they just went at this niche. And the only thing the only advice I give them in the video is that I would just love to see some more content, because I think this person could grow a lot faster.
Very quickly looking at the channel and reminding myself of it. The channel seems to be very focused on the best weapons. So we're not necessarily talking about maps or just, as you say, let's play. It's always about the weapons. It seems to be the focus of the videos. And then they're using these 3 strategies in terms of search intent, how-tos versus or top X number of weapons. And then there's all of that consistency already there in a channel that's still at this moment relatively small, in that it's only 1,000 subscribers, and they've made about 50 videos. But look at how the channel is already developing within that space. So Dan, that was an example of a channel competing in a very competitive niche. But then on the flip side of it, this channel we looked at yesterday, they're called Napoleonic Raids. And this is a channel dedicated, I think, to, I don't know if it's called Roblox Waterloo or Men of War, but it's a very particular mod within Roblox. And it looks as if it's recreating battles of the 18th and 19th century in Roblox. And that's pretty much all they do. We had some discussions about maybe improving the thumbnails a little bit. But the fact is that their focus and their passion is on this single game that maybe not that many people play. It doesn't have a huge audience, but at the same time, how many creators are covering this game? Because this is the first time in all of the Roblox channels that we've audited that we've come across this particular mod.
Yeah. And this is a niche within a niche. Roblox is a niche in itself, but it's a game platform where people put up all kinds of different games within it. So this person's focusing on just one of those, which is, I mean, I got to say, a pretty low ceiling. There's only going to be so many fans of this. And that's where your audience begins, is people who are fans of this one particular super niche thing. So one of the things I like to talk about is just finding the ceiling of, you know, your potential YouTube channel. And the ceiling in this case is finding the person or people in this niche that are at the top, you know. And I don't know how many other people are covering it. It looks like you found a few.
A few, but he keeps cropping up here and there with a video.
So the ceiling could be, let's say you find a channel covering it and they're at 50,000 subscribers, and that's the max. They've been around for a while. You could imagine that maybe that's your ceiling. Maybe that's the best you can hope for is 50,000 subscribers. And from there, it's about having a strategy of niching out. So if you don't want to hit that ceiling, if you don't want to stop there, you play this Roblox variant for a while, and then you move on to another Roblox game, maybe another one about war or battle or something like that, but niche out over time, you know, so you can grow starting with a small niche. But yes, absolutely, you can grow within a small niche. You may just hit a kind of a low ceiling depending on how small it is.
I like this question, as you'd think the obvious answer from me would be the moment you publish your first video. So as a small channel that started just a month ago, when is the moment to start checking analytics? And my answer to this would be, you want to be just, I guess, taking a cursory glance at your analytics all of the time. But I would say, and this is a generalization again, but maybe after around about 3 months or after around about 25 to 50 videos, that should give you a good sample size. And you should have within those videos peaks and troughs. So videos that outperformed your average, videos that underperformed your average, and then you can start to check perhaps the click-through rate, the impressions, the traffic sources, those types of things. Doing it from just 1 or 2 videos, you're still kind of guessing, and at the same time as a creator, you're still finding your feet. You're still discovering this whole YouTube creation process. You're still discovering whether or not you enjoy making videos. So that would be my general answer. But Dan, love to hear your thoughts on this one as well.
You got to have videos. I mean, if you make one video and you just kind of obsess over the analytics of it, it got this many views, the retention was this. I mean, it's a small sample size, and you want to have a number of videos so you can build up that sample size and then compare all of them against each other rather than just focusing on one at a time. The other thing I'll say is, starting out, it's really easy to get kind of obsessed with the numbers, and that takes time away mentally, just takes away mental capacity to make more content. It's better to, it's almost better to have, when you're first starting out, like 5 or 10 videos already done and on the back burner. And then at least if you're going to obsess over the numbers, it doesn't have to hinder the performance of your next video because it's already been made. It's already sitting on the channel. This was a strategy I used, and it helped me a little bit because I do get this way. I become kind of obsessed over the analytics of how my latest video is doing, to the point where now I'm overanalyzing and I'm thinking, okay, I need to make another video, but this one's giving me these signals, and it's best to get out of your own head if you can and look at it at a time where it's not going to affect you creatively.
See the first, 25 videos or 3 months of your YouTube journey as your tutorial, when you're starting a new game and you're learning how to look up and down. Like I just started Gears of War 5, and even though I've played the entire series, it wanted me to go through a tutorial, which was damn frustrating, but it was reminding me how to get into cover and how to aim or how to throw a grenade, etc., etc. Now try and put that into a YouTube context, and that you're learning like what happens when you publish a video. You're learning how many views you generally get from that, how many subscribers you might get per view, and just all of these things that you're going to be immersed into for the first time. Use your first 3 months, 25 videos to just get an understanding of that before you really start to take it seriously and take action.
I heard a myth that live streaming on a channel significantly reduces the chances of it being recommended. Is that true?
Well, take a look at vidIQ. We do live streams at least twice a week, and we have lots of subscribers and lots of views. I don't think it impacts us much. Having said that, we do have 2 foreign language channels where we kind of take the cream of the crop from vidIQ's content and put it on those channels. and they are kind of more of a pure reflection of the best of vidIQ, and they are sort of growing nicely and consistently. So I would love to be able to test not having any live streams on the main channel for 3 months, but I think all of you core loyal fans would be pretty annoyed and frustrated that we suddenly stopped doing live streams.
Keep in mind, the one cheat code there is that you're taking videos, like you said, the cream of the crop. They've kind of passed the test already. So you're giving these channels the best of the best.
Yeah.
I would say that live streams only help you get recommended if anything. I think live streams can do either nothing, depending on the size of your channel, or they can help you get recommended. I don't see them hurting the channel in any way. If you go live, you're now in a new place on YouTube. It's kind of like YouTube Shorts. It's a different real estate on the platform. And that's how it is when you're live. If you were to search for a game right now, you can filter by live streams, or sometimes if you don't filter, it'll just show you some of the live streams happening right now. So live streams are a way to actually get recommended more in different sections of the app and the site. So this myth sounds kind of silly. There's a lot of myths around live streaming, and I know there's a lot of myths on YouTube in general. This is not one I've heard, but that feels silly. And I think you're safe to live stream.
All right, Dan. Let's challenge ourselves with a music question.
Oh no!
I'm an artist. I make music from Toronto, Canada. How can I get more views and fans and just use YouTube? Because I don't think YouTube helped me that much getting any fans at all. YouTube, first of all, is a challenge for a lot of music artists because there are a lot of music artists on YouTube. It's a great way. I guess YouTube is like the digital revolution of busking, in that you can now reach a global audience rather than just a few hundred people on the street that you're busking. But then you have to appreciate that there are lots of musical artists doing the same thing on YouTube. Now, the interesting words you use here are fans. And what we've been learning more about music channels, in the same way that we talk about gaming channels, tech channels, etc., to begin with, we'll be honest and say that viewers don't necessarily care about you, Vinin, the artist, to begin with. So how you should pitch your content to a potential audience is through the genres of music that you make. So instead of it perhaps being the artist's name and the title of the song in your title, think of more what people are searching for, whether it be lo-fi hip hop or classical rock or K-pop. You want to be using those types of genre terms as your main keywords. I think that's all I can remember, Dan, from our music discussions recently.
That's all I can remember too. One thing I will say is maybe test shorts, because I have to imagine when you're on the short shelf and you're just scrolling through and YouTube's randomly recommending you shorts, if somebody can immediately recognize like a cover, like a melody or something in just a few seconds time, and it's just, you doing your thing, who knows? I feel like shorts might be a good place to test this out. I bring it up because I actually discovered a new band on Reddit, of all places. I was scrolling through Reddit and it just happened to recommend to me a band that was live streaming. And for some reason, I stopped on it. There wasn't even, I couldn't hear it yet. It just looked interesting. And so I turned the sound on. I watched them for about 30 minutes. I'm like, this is a good band, come to find out they've been around for a while. But people on YouTube aren't really searching like that unless we're talking about the short shelf. I think the short shelf is a little more free flowing. I found all kinds of random stuff on the short shelf when I'm not searching. I'm just in the mood for some randomness. So there could be a one way to test getting discovered. Is I'm just throwing it out there. I've not seen anyone try this, but maybe.
Found the channel. Let's have some more music on your channel. Like 3,500 views on your first video with 100 subscribers. That's brilliant. I think any musician who's not world famous would definitely take that. So, okay, I've subscribed. I've watched one of your music videos. Can I have some more, please?
It's
I
2
think
months.
that's probably what the audience is probably wondering right now.
Keep in mind too, nobody's searching for you, and the first word in your title is your name. No one really knows who you are yet, so lead more with the type of music it is in your title, and start there. Maybe if you're going to put your name on the title, put it at the very end, because that's not what's bringing people in there.
Let's just add this as a disclaimer as well. Well, I'll speak for myself first. I have no knowledge or experience of music of any kind whatsoever. So if Vinin, you are a very popular musical artist, I do apologize.
I've never even heard music.
Except for the music that we get really jazzed up for at the beginning of this live stream.
Is that what that is? Music? Is that what it sounds like? Let's see. I'm currently doing YouTube as a hobby.
Oh.
Is that the one you're reading?
All right. I've got another one, but let's do this one first.
I'm currently doing YouTube as just a hobby. Should I make what I enjoy or what gets a bit more views? If you're going to make videos because you think, and you're not enjoying them, but you think they're going to get more views, then you're doing it wrong. That's what I would say to that. It's okay to do YouTube as a hobby. I think a lot of us, when we start, we tell ourselves this is a hobby, and all of us secretly kind of want it to become a business. Do what you enjoy, because it's going to translate. Your audience is going to see right through you if you're just kind of covering something because you think it's going to get some views. There's going to be a disconnect there. There's a much stronger connection when you're doing something you truly, truly love and you're finding a way to bring value to an audience.
This is what I talk about when I say that I feel as if creators should spend the first 3 to 6 months just making videos to determine whether or not you enjoy the process of making content. Because if you do end up being successful, you're going to be making a lot of content over a number of years. And that's how I got my start on YouTube. I fell in love with video making before I started to really focus on an audience. So that's, again, why I think in a recent video, I talked about, to begin with, quantity a little bit over quality, to go through the YouTube process, to learn all of these creative processes. And hopefully you'll get to a point where, the initial enthusiasm and excitement has worn off a little bit of making a YouTube channel, but then you sort of realize, man, I still enjoy doing this. I'd still rather be making a YouTube video in my spare time than playing this sport or watching that television series or playing this video game. And that's what happened to me. And at that point, it was like, right, okay, I've had a little bit of success with videos here and there, but I've not really been paying attention to what makes them successful. Now I'm going to start to delve into the analytics and understand who my audience might be and viewer psychology. So if it's a hobby, enjoy it, embrace it, love it. I'm sure there'll become a crunch point where you say, I'm enjoying this, but I want more people to see it. I mean, I was the same 15, 20 years ago when I was trying to get into the business of writing. I really enjoyed doing it, but I never got any feedback from it. I never got really an audience to engage in it. And maybe that's telling me that writing wasn't my calling, but eventually YouTube has become somewhat of a calling.
Well said.
Thank you. Right.
What was the question you had?
Yeah, this one. Is it bad having 99% of all views as new views? So I would say yes, but the caveat would be, how much data are we talking about here? Because if you're a channel with maybe less than 100 subscribers and you're getting 10 or 20 views per video, then it might be the case that a lot of your audience are new viewers and you haven't got enough of a catalog of content for them to return to yet. Oh, Dan, there we go. Showing our analytics here.
I'm guessing this is the graph they're referring to.
I assume it is. I assume so, yeah.
And I would say that either of these would be bad. Either too many returning viewers and no new viewers, or vice versa. And YouTube tells you that. If you put your mouse over the chart guide, it shows you the worst case scenario in both situations. And I did a tweet about this a while back. You want these two lines to be doing similar to what vidIQs are doing. We've been hitting a stride, and we're getting a lot of returning viewers right now. The returning viewers, I'm guessing by tomorrow, could cross over the blue line. And you want that to happen. You want it to look like a DNA strand. You want that to happen as many times as possible, because that means there's a good symbiosis. You're bringing in new people. A lot of them are coming back. And having too many returning viewers means that you're just catering to one audience and not doing enough to kind of grow. So, and bad is also subjective, by the way. It's hard to say, is that bad? If that's your goal, if you just want to have this really awesome club of people that are always watching you, that's awesome. But it's kind of depending on your goals too.
My guess is that it's not as bad as 99%. That sounds a little bit too extreme. And I have brought up a channel, and quickly looking at it with a channel of 900 subscribers. That's Jasper in the background, the green, by the way, if you can hear him. We have a couple of breakout videos here with like 75,000 views and 28,000 views, which is brilliant. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, these are YouTube shorts. So you're in that unusual situation of where you'll have these massive spikes and whatnot. Now, the videos following it, 300 views, 700 views, 200 views for a channel with under 1,000 subscribers, that's still not too bad. So I think you are continuing with this Minecraft Pokeball and this kind of Minecraft Pokemon combo. I feel as if over time that audience is going to start to return. Maybe you just haven't given them the chance yet in the 4 or 5 days where you've had these viral moments for your channel.
I'm having a totally different experience with this in my own tests. And that's why it's like so weird to hear you say that you get 99% are only new viewers. Here's my best guess for you when it comes to shorts and this whole phenomenon where you're not getting a lot of returning viewers. I'm starting to believe it has everything to do with the topic. Minecraft is that big where every single short you put out that blows up finds all these new people and doesn't get pushed to the people who saw your last one. That's how big Minecraft is. And if you were to be covering a topic that was of a smaller size, you might be having a different experience. And that's been my experience. I swap topics. I've been trying shorts on a smaller topic, and I'm getting returning viewers, sometimes more so than new viewers. And I'm having that nice symbiosis with the two lines, new viewers and returning viewers. I think Minecraft is just that big. So if you want returning viewers, maybe you don't want to do this because it looks like you just simply have a shorts channel, which is totally cool. But one thing you can do is take some of your best shorts and make longer versions of them as long form content, maybe on that channel, maybe on a different one. But long form videos are getting pushed out, and they rank differently, and maybe you start to see what worked well in shorts might work well as a long form video, and you start building a regular audience.
Looking at your channel, just one happy boy. I think you've got a happy headache to have right now, in that you're getting lots of new viewers, which is what you always want from YouTube. You always want YouTube to be testing your content with new audiences. And you have had a couple of viral videos, and there might just be a bit of a time lag between that audience returning. The fact that you've got this interesting concept of combining Minecraft with Pokemon, that feels like a winner to me. And I would just continue to double down on that and see what happens over the next month or so.
If you are interested in making long form content, one thing I could recommend to you is Pixelmon. It's a mod pack. It is Pokemon within Minecraft, and maybe you could show people how everything about it, how it all works. But yeah, this is the thing. I've been comparing notes in the background of other channels that are trying different sizes and different topics, different niches, and their shorts experience always looks just like this. Like I get a spike and the video flatlines, and it's like all new viewers, and the people who subscribe don't come back to watch more. And I do think it's topic. I'm still doing my own studying though. All right. I'm guessing we're looking for another question because I got really quiet.
Yeah, let's find some more questions. Really,
really quick. You will get the community tab after hitting 1,000 subscribers, but it's just going to take some time. For me, it took a few weeks. You don't have to do anything. You just have to hit 1,000 subscribers, and YouTube will handle it from there.
Correct. No applications necessary for that. I think on their support page, they say give it a week or two. So it should be there soon. Fort Nijton.
I think I kind of get what this person's putting down. If you have a mixed audience from 3 different games and you personally want to niche down to just one of those games, while you're trying to grow your channel, how do you do it without hurting the other viewers? It won't hurt them. I'll make the language clear that no one's going to get hurt if you stop recording the other 2 games. But yeah, they likely won't come back, and that is simply something to reckon with. Like we talked about earlier when we interviewed Jake Fellman for TubeTalk, he knows that a lot of his Among Us viewers are likely not going to return when he switches to all Minecraft videos, but he did it anyway because he felt like it was time. So it's part of the journey. It's part of the game. No one's going to get hurt. And some of those viewers may follow you to that other game. You know, you might have viewers that watch you play all 3 of them, and they're just happy to watch you be you. But yeah, there's no. If you let yourself get beholden to that idea, not even viewers telling you, "Hey, this is going to really upset me." If you just let yourself sink into that mindset, this is what doesn't promote any kind of change or growth. You just kind of get stuck, and you're just holding yourself back.
Be honest with your audience, test it, and you'll get the data you need to answer that question.
All right. Next question. Did you not have a question?
Sorry, Dan. I thought you were going to say next question and then reveal the next question.
No, I'm not that good.
Oh, yeah. Remember this. It's about to hit 100 subscribers on day 64. Congratulations in advance, Joe. Phenomenal.
Wow.
Phenomenal. Only 2 days past your prediction. Yeah, that's the one where I made a really weird mathematical calculation that it takes on average 61 days for a channel to hit 100 subscribers. But at least Joe Phenomenal is accurate. I wonder if it'll be the same for 1,000 subscribers, which I made a prediction of about 18 months. And it was the high end, the low end was 9 months. The high end was 24 months. So I kind of settled on, and it was about 16 months or something.
Thanks for following up with us. That's always it's always nice to see that. Someone asked when the next Tube Talk is coming out. That would be tomorrow. Every Thursday, nice and early in the morning, you get new episodes. So be sure you're subscribed on your podcast app of choice.
How do I rig the YouTube analytics, I guess? I've already told you how to do this. You start a Minecraft channel and make YouTube shorts. That's how you rig YouTube.
Yep. Or make really good use of the community tab.
What would happen if you did both, Dan? Oh, my word.
Oh, my gosh. What could happen?
What could happen?
I think they just ban you.
Let's have a look at this one. Gaming guys, does watch time matter when you're monetized and you post videos under 10 minutes? Surely the only ads you would make revenue from is at the start of the video. Well, watch time, let's put monetization aside for a second. Like, watch time always matters because monetization and YouTube analytics are not directly connected in the sense that if your video makes more money, YouTube is going to promote it more. YouTube doesn't work like that. YouTube is geared towards viewer satisfaction more than anything else. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that if you put a ton of ads on videos, the video is going to perform worse unless the audience is getting frustrated by all of these adverts. I'm not sure what you're talking about with 10 minutes. Is this to do with mid-roll ads? Because that is now 8 minutes or over where you can start to add mid-roll ads to your videos. I think if we were bundle up this question with a final answer, don't try and associate monetization with YouTube analytics in terms of how your channel is going to perform, because they're 2 separate things.
Yes, is my answer.
Thanks.
Everything you just said.
Yeah.
I would also discourage, especially if you're a smaller channel, using mid rolls at all. I just think it really pulls people out of the video. It's personal opinion there, but yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of mid rolls.
I've just become accepting of ads. I just feel as if they're part of YouTube now, and I think as long as you don't manually start to insert lots of ads, then I think viewers just accept it as part of watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'm generally accepting of it, but I've looked at videos, and when the timeline has those little yellow dots in it, and there's many of them, I click away. I'm like, I can't. This video is already like 20 minutes long. I'm not going to sit through 4 mid-roll ads.
But it doesn't always show all of those ads, does it? Because I've noticed that I've started a video and just the timelines come up and I thought, yeesh, 6 mid-roll ads. But then maybe I only see 2 of them.
Oh, well, see, I don't make it that far. That's the problem.
Right. Well, there you go.
I really don't like ads. At one point I'm just going to get YouTube Premium, but I haven't done it yet. All right. Okay, so we did just talk about this a little bit, but we weren't super direct. When you're trying to utilize YouTube Shorts, how can you effectively direct viewers to your long-form content? The short answer that a lot of folks here will tell you is you can't. You never will. It just won't happen. Shorts they don't work for that. Like I said earlier, I've had success with this in a smaller topic, but I think in the larger topics, it's just harder. The shorts get pushed out to a lot of new folks, and then they see. So imagine how many people are making Minecraft shorts right now. You know, if you get on a roll watching a shelf full of Minecraft shorts, the likelihood of yours being shown back to back to back to back, unless you're on that person's channel, is pretty small, you know, because it's so popular. Anyway, to direct people from a short to a long form video, I think you're tackling shorts the wrong way, unfortunately, because if you make a video that's like, hey, come to my channel to watch the longer version of this video, you've not really made that short stand on its own, and therefore inherently it's not going to have the value of other shorts you're competing against. So it's tough. Do you have any insights here?
I think focus 95% of the short to value within that short itself, and then very quickly at the end you might want to say, if you want to watch more, check out the link in the description. And it's as simple as that. But as you say, using shorts to advertise long form content is the backwards way of thinking about YouTube Shorts. It's its own video platform, essentially, I would say at this point.
I've seen people do that too, and that's where I'm getting that example. But if you let the short stand on its own and then quickly plug yourself at the very end of it, that's probably the best way you can do it. But yeah, that's the thing. People just don't come back, and it's
YouTube have made a conscious decision not to include calls to action within YouTube Shorts. You know, like in YouTube Stories, you can put in calls to action where you put a video button on screen and somebody can tap on it and jump to a long form video. Mm-hmm. So YouTube have purposely not included that in Shorts yet. So the feeling is that it must mean that YouTube doesn't necessarily want you jumping from shorts to long form content. They want to keep you in that swipey player, which means that unfortunately you don't know what's coming next. I mean, maybe that's the viewer mentality that YouTube assumes you have, in that the viewer just wants to see a prank video, then a challenge video, then some gaming skit, then something about a product you never knew you needed, then endless TikTok stolen content, then back to a prank, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Have you reached the end of the short shelf, by the way? When you're watching?
Like you just swipe and then you get to the end? It
stops. Yeah.
Really?
It's happened to me 3 times now.
How many videos do you have to swipe through to do that?
I feel like maybe about 20 or so. It's not that many. But I've just been sitting down and we've been just watching shorts. The last one it stopped on the other day was like a snake losing its skin. So it was like really gross. And I was trying to swipe away to the next one. It wouldn't let me. I don't want to see this.
I didn't realize there was a natural stop point. I thought it would just be endless. Maybe that's something to do with viewer health, health, in that we don't just want you to watch endless shorts. Take a break before you start another shorts viewing session.
Yeah, here we go. Same person that asked the question. After not, short shelf is quite short. I think they should make it bigger. I didn't realize it would have an end, but it happened a few times now in that last video. I can't unsee it. Anyway. Okay. Is Among Us still worth making content on?
If you have a new, unique angle, perhaps, and if there are huge updates coming out for Among Us, then
And there are.
maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah, you could be preparing for a big Among Us turnaround. It definitely did die down. So I don't know. Define the word worth, I guess, in the sentence. You know, what's it worth to you? It's less people are watching, but certainly people are still watching. I hope that wasn't too dismissive. I'm trying to get to as many of these as we can before we wrap up today.
What is the opinion on no commentary gameplay channels? Are they worth doing? That's from Jibberwocky.
Again, there's that word. Well, okay. So I'm going to assume the word worth here means, are people even going to watch? You know, if I do a no commentary gameplay channel, you're competing with some of the biggest news outlets out there, because a lot of them will put no commentary, just gameplay up. You know, you're competing with these massive channels that are just like, people just want to see what this game looks like for a few minutes, you know, and maybe you're doing this for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It's the more you can do to stand out, the better time you're going to have on YouTube. So if you're not willing to interject your personality, is there anything else you're doing with this no commentary video to stand out? Because you have a lot of competition. And I think you just want to find out all the different ways you can to make yourself stand out.
Jibberwocky, let me pose this question to you. Do you watch no commentary gameplay channels? And if the answer is yes, why do you watch those channels? You know, maybe bullet point the answers. That's what you need to emulate in your own style on your own channel. And you also have to appreciate that in the very essence of no commentary videos is already boxing yourself pretty much. You know, you're thinking about how you're going to edit the video, or if you're going to add funky music, or like try and turn it into some comedy version of no commentary gameplay. There has to be some unique appeal to it in order for that audience to choose you, where over, as Dan said, the well-established channels in this topic niche.
If you do watch a lot of no commentary gameplay, do you find yourself watching the same creator? And if, you know, is it because of the way they do it? Is there something they do that's really attracted you? I'd have to guess you're going to watch whoever comes out first with the no commentary gameplay on the new game you're trying to study or research. And I feel like that's what no commentary is for. It's for people who are just trying to make a purchasing decision. They don't really want the personality of the person in there. And that couldn't be more competitive.
Well, look, we're getting some more shorts tips here now, Dan. Short shelf, back out and go to back out and go to the one to the right of it. I found it gives you 15 shots, and then within those, the ability to swipe up 51 times. Some people are doing some really hardcore YouTube Shorts research here.
That's really good to know. It's just that by the time I reach the end, the spell is broken.
Yeah.
And now I can go out on with my day. That's the problem.
Love to wonder asks, how long can a short be? And the answer, according to YouTube, is 60 seconds. So as a safety net, I would make my video no longer than 58 seconds, just so you've got a bit of room to play with there.
Yeah.
Because remember, whenever you upload a video to YouTube, it always adds an extra second on the timestamp. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that.
Yeah, normally it would. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. You get that extra second. What are the rules of thumb for doing collabs with other channels, particularly if those other channels are adjacent to your niche but not quite in it? It was such a good question, but now I'm like, wait, I don't know the rules of because I'm trying to imagine that scenario.
So I think just general rules of thumb for collabs in general is that, first of all, you want to be creating value for their audience as well as potentially your own. And so try not to think about how many viewers you're going to gain from this collaboration. It's think about the potential value you're going to be offering to a brand new audience. And then hopefully the happy offshoot of that is that their audience becomes your audience.
I couldn't have said it better.
In terms of the channels are in adjacent niches to yourself. So hopefully in the Venn diagram of relationships, there should be some natural crossover anyway, which is probably going to help. But I think you want to focus on their niche as much as possible in the collab. I guess it depends where the video is appearing. Is it appearing on their channel or your channel? If it's appearing on your channel, then you kind of want to naturally bring the guest into your audience. For example, this is something that we're wrestling with now as we bring in more and more vidIQ partners. We're not necessarily having them just do their videos on our channel. First of all, we're introducing them to our audience through live streams. So we had Ben Levitt on yesterday, who just naturally fell into place and slotted in nicely with our channel audits. And it just felt like he was another guest on the vidIQ live stream. But now the audience knows who he is. Then the next phase is that we'll perhaps have a video where I'm introducing, but then we'll have Ben do a segment of the video. So we're slowly introducing into the audience, because what I've always found, but this is only pretty in the YouTube growth niche, and again, this is just my experience, is that when we bring on guests, no matter how well known they are, the audience doesn't seem to care about the guest. They're still more interested in the value of the content, like getting views and subscribers and whatnot. So this is why we've kind of shied away from it for a couple of years, but now we're experimenting again. And I think it was a bit with you, Dan. You know, when you did your first video here at vidIQ, I felt it was necessary for me to have cameo appearances just so that the existing audience could connect back to vidIQ a little bit. But we only did that in our first video, and it's got 1 million views. I don't think my cameo appearances contributed necessarily to that, but maybe it was just association of familiarity that, oh, who's this new guy? Oh, there's Rob. I know I'm in the right place, but yeah, this guy's giving me some useful information.
Yeah. Okay. I'm safe. Everything's fine. I thought it was a really good strategy too. Here's one. How often is it too often for posting videos? I feel like posting a ton of videos is a bad idea because people get sick of the content. I wouldn't say people are going to get sick of the content, but I do think the simple answer here is don't post more than one a day, because
general rule of thumb.
General rule of thumb. YouTube gives you 3 notifications before it lets you notify people no more. So 3 a day. That includes if you were to do a video and a live stream, by the way. Those are 2 notifications right there. Also, if you are posting more than once a day, you could be better off stretching that out over a longer period of time and giving yourself some breathing room, so you don't have to work every single day. You go, kind of build up a collection of videos. But even once a day, I tell people, if you can't handle that, if that's not something you can do, like you feel like you burn out, then don't. You totally cannot do that.
Try and think of this from your target audience's point of view. How often are they on YouTube, and how often do they like to watch the same creators? Now, with gaming channels, it's probably a lot more frequent. But with, say, a tech channel, it might be a couple of times a week. And then, say, for a family vlogger or a busy working mom, it might be once a week, because they're just as busy as you in that sense. With shorts, I think you can be a bit more flexible. I think you can maybe post 2 or 3 a day if it's exclusively a shorts channel. As Dan said, you do get limited notifications. You can turn them off if you don't want to necessarily annoy your subscriber base. And finally, just test. Test posting once a day, or test posting once a week.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we have time for a couple more
Go on,
maybe, or
yeah, a couple more.
Okay,
I'm good.
Are you seeing anything? I'm still looking.
There's another one here from Frederick the Frog. Should my colors stay the same across my YouTube, as in thumbnails, profile, picture banner, etc., or should I turn it around in the thumbnails on the banner? I would say, generally speaking, consistency is going to work for you in the long term because it creates familiarity with your brand. Having said that, we here at vidIQ sometimes do stray away from our generally blue branding, sometimes just because I think a certain thumbnail fits a certain style. I think the key thing to try and establish is when a viewer who's familiar with your content and they see one of your thumbnails, they instinctively know it's a thumbnail from you. And that might not necessarily be because of the color scheme. It might be because of the style of font you use, or because you're in the thumbnail yourself, or just the way it's designed. So I think, yeah, trying to keep the colors similar is important. But if there are ways you can manipulate that but still have that brand familiarity, then again, I don't think it's you shouldn't be afraid to test it.
I'd say also try to avoid thumbnail wallpaper, because we see sometimes people get really invested in the brand of the thumbnail and they put these big logos or borders around their thumbnails to the point where each one looks almost the same. And there's not a lot of differentiators there too. Let your thumbnails kind of stand on their own a little bit.
I keep suggesting this test, again, from Daryl Lee's book, where you should create a thumbnail, or you should try and bring up a thumbnail and then just hide it or close your eyes for a second and then just blink for 1 second and look at the thumbnail and then try to ascertain whether you can pick up the brand consistency. Does it look like my thumbnail? Can I work out what the video is about in the second that I'm looking at the thumbnail? Because that's how your audience is interacting with those thumbnails as they're scrolling through. You get a fraction of a moment in time to grab their attention. So are you doing that? I feel as if, Dan, sorry, I feel as if I keep having the last word, and then I forget after I've spoken that I need to look for a question as well.
It's all good. I'm looking for just one last question here because we are over time now.
Oh, hang on. Let's take a look at this one. I'm underrated. How do I get more views and subscribers as an underrated YouTuber? All right, then. It's
pretty confident.
RB. Why do you think you're underrated? What proof do you have that you're underrated? And I don't ask that as a trap or, just an antagonizing question. Do you have objective evidence to prove that you are an underrated channel? And that should be evidenced by your analytics. Because if you are a new creator, I can almost guarantee that in 3 months' time, you will look at all of the videos you made and think they're not very good. In which case, your current self will realize that you weren't underrated at the time. You were just where you were in your YouTube journey. So that would be my general answer to that. Try and park your ego at the YouTube door and be objective. Now, you could be underrated. I could be wrong about this, but that question kind of triggers that usual, YouTube's against me. It's not really helping me out. I'm better than all of these other creators. Feels like it's a mindset question, and you're not quite ready for the long YouTube journey.
One way to see if you are underrated on YouTube would be if your videos generally get more views than the amount of subscribers you have.
That's a good one.
And if that's the case, then just keep doing what you're doing is the answer to that. That would mean you are underrated. People are finding you so quickly, don't even have time to subscribe. So keep doing what you're doing. is the answer if that's true. Are you?
I've just got the channel up.
Okay.
Shall we quickly bring it up?
Sure, why not?
All right, so the channel has 25 subscribers. You have been on YouTube for about 3 months. I think what's the focus of the channel? I'm not 100% sure. Oh, okay, I think it's Roblox. The thumbnails are okay. There's a lot of text on there. There's a bit of blending of colors. So I wouldn't say you're underrated in terms of your thumbnails yet. The view count seemed fairly healthy for the size of your channel. So I don't think there's necessarily anything to suggest there that you're overrated. As Dan said, you're getting more views and subscribers. Maybe this is just a patience question. You need a little bit more patience because your channel is growing, and over time it will do. What do you reckon, Dan?
Yeah. In the meantime, things you could be doing to speed this up a little bit would be to invest in yourself a little bit more. And by that, I specifically mean learning how to make better thumbnails, studying your niche, trying to figure out different topics and things people are interested in. So yeah, it's just the general advice. But if you're getting more views than you even have subscribers, and a lot of your videos do, you're doing a lot of things right. And you have a good data set here too. I would take these videos, compare them against each other, see what's been working, what's been not. How often can you really talk about boosting the frames per second in a game? Probably not too many times, a year. I understand. But what else have you done that's kind of done better than other things? And are there ways to double down on that?
It's Lightning RB. You are where you are on your YouTube journey. You keep turning up, you keep publishing videos, keep paying into the YouTube bank, and it will start to pay out more and more as a reward. Sometimes there is a bit of a lag. Sometimes you can make awesome videos for a few weeks and they just don't get any traction. But if you continue to make awesome videos and more people react positively to it, and it sends more positive signals to YouTube, then YouTube will start to share your content more and more. I mean, look, there's some videos here with some questionable likes and dislikes ratios here. So why is that? Maybe investigate what's going on there, although the sample size is a bit small.
That's true. Cool. Well, I think that's going to cover it for today's Q&A. I want to quickly thank everybody for being here. It's been awesome having you. And there's one more thing that's going on you don't want to miss. Already happening right now. We are actually live in Clubhouse.
Oh, blimey, I need to get on there. Yeah. I'll take my dog for a walk, one of the two.
I just got the notification about 10 minutes ago, and the room topic is what's eating you up as a YouTuber. So that is hosted by JJ. She's one of our new creator partners here at vidIQ. She does a fantastic job. I'm going to be in there right after I get off of this live stream. And yeah, we're going to sit, hang out, and talk about YouTube. So if you have Clubhouse, please feel free to come by Talking YouTube by vidIQ. So
as always, Dan, it's been a pleasure talking to you and our community. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. And we'll be back soon with more videos and the Tuesday channel audit live streams. That's all from me, Dan.
Yep, that's all for me. See you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Peace.